Today, we're getting ready for our shared reading, and we're going to get our voices warmed up with our poems. We've done motions, we've done endings, we've talked about other words that we can create. Today, we're going to work on scooping up our voices, scooping up our reading, and not reading one at a time. But you guys do a great job with our poems, scooping up our voices. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let me hear you. Ready? Go.
We are falling, leaves are falling
To the ground.
without any sound. Days are getting shorter, nights are growing longer. Fall is
I
here,
hear you.
fall is here.
Readers, I really like the way that you were able to scoop up the whole line. We didn't read it one at a time. We were scooping up our reading. So let's get turned around this way, and we're going to get ready for our chapter, Iris and Walter. All right, here we go. So, readers, today as we read, we're going to be thinking, who is doing the talking? Then we're going to make our voices match the characters the best we can. When we see characters doing talking, we can see that there's quotation marks right here and right here. That means that that character is doing the exact talking, those words. But readers, when we read, we don't just keep our voice the same the whole time. We change up our voices to match the characters. So Miss Charlotte is going to try her best Iris voice, then her best grandpa voice, and you're going to try it too. Okay? So if I were to read this first line, there's no quotations there. So no one is doing that talking. The narrator is doing it, and it would sound like this. Let's listen one time. Iris and Grandpa went for a walk. Can I tell you something? Iris asked. You may tell me anything, said Grandpa. Can you thumbs up if you could hear the difference that when I talked like Grandpa, I tried to make it like Grandpa, but then when it comes to this part, it's outside of the quotations, so we go back to our regular narrator voice, our regular reading voice. Thumbs up if you could try that with me as we read today. So say, choose my Iris voice.
Choose my Iris voice.
Choose my Grandpa voice.
Choose my grandpa voice.
Okay, ready? Go. Iris and Grandpa went for a walk. Can I tell you something? Iris asked. You may tell me anything, said Grandpa. I hate the country, said Iris. Why? Asked Grandpa. Because there are no children here, said Iris. The country is as lonely. Okay, so we're making our voices sound like a little girl, Iris. We're going to read the whole way through. I like how you're changing it up for the narrator parts. Let's see. Who's doing the talking here?
Grandpa.
Grandpa. So we're going to start with our grandpa voice. Ready? Go. Iris, my girl, there must be some children somewhere, said Grandpa. Do you think so? Asked Iris. I know so. We shall have to find them, Iris. We shall be explorers. Now right here, I notice there's no quotation marks. So this is the narrator doing the talking in our regular reading voice. Ready? Scooping up our words. Ready? Go. The birds were singing, the roses were blooming, and around the bend, someone was waiting. I really like how you were able to scoop up all your words. All right, let's see. Is anyone doing the talking here? Do we have quotation marks yet? Nope. So our first two lines are still the narrator. Ready? Go. Iris and Grandpa walked around the bend. They saw a great big green tree. Oh, I see quotation marks. Who's doing the talking? Grandpa. And then who does the talking?
Iris.
Then it goes back to?
Grandpa.
And then it goes back to?
Iris.
So we have a lot of switching to do here, okay? Get your voices ready to scoop it up. Ready? Go. What a tree, said Grandpa. So green, said Iris. Oh, who says so beautiful? Grandpa. Switch it back up. Ready? Go. So beautiful, said Grandpa. I want to climb it, said Iris. Good job. So these parts right here where it says said Grandpa, said Iris, those are where the narrator is doing the talking. So that's why we have to turn our voice off, because the talking happens right here within those quotation marks. Let's keep going. What do we say here?
Tell me the
Scoop it up. Ready, go.
matter.
There we go. Ready? Lots of talking. Who's this talking?
Grandpa.
Grandpa. Ready? Go. Amazing! I wonder what's up there, said Grandpa. I'll go see, said Iris. Iris began to climb. How is it up there? Called Grandpa. It's very green, yelled Iris. Iris climbed higher and higher until she was almost at the top of the great big green tree. Wow, that's a mouthful at the end. I like how we were able to do it all in a scoop, not part by part. Who's doing that talking? Iris. And notice the quotation mark. She's like feeling, how's she feeling there?
Excited.
Well, she's excited, but we see a question mark, so she's also kind of confused. So we have to be like, how would we say that? Turn and practice with your partner. How would you say that part? Where you see the quotation or the exclamation mark and the question. Practice that with your partner. Like, Grandpa? So she's sort of doing what? Is she kind of like confused?
Yeah, she's confused. She said, "Where did letter come from?"
Right, but is she also having a strong voice there too? Yes. All right, readers, let's turn back. 3, 2, and 1. I really like how our front row right here, I turned all the way down. Perfect. So readers, as I was checking in with you, I heard that not only is she having like a strong voice right there, but she's also like a little bit confused. Like, Grandpa? Can you try that part with me? It's like Iris is saying it. Ready? Go. Grandpa, called Iris. There's a house up here. Amazing, said Grandpa. There we go. Oh, here. Be on the lookout. Who are we introduced to here? Walter. So that means we need a new voice. Are you ready? Go. Iris knocked on the door. Said a voice. Iris opened the door. Let's freeze here. So this part, come in, said a voice. Raise your hand. Who is doing the talking there? Walter. Oh, so we have to do like a little boy voice. Like, how could you try your best with that? Okay? So everyone's just going to try their best with their Walter voice. Ready? So what would it, I want you to think, how would we say that? Like, come in. Like a little boy, like just like a boy voice. How about we have all the boys say this part, and then we can switch to Iris on the girl part. So boys are going to read this part first. They're going to say, come in. Ready? Boys, go.
Come in.
Said a voice. Iris opened the door. Boys.
Hi.
Said Walter. Girls. Said Iris. So girls, you're going to say, I'm Iris. Said Iris. Okay, let's try that part again. Boys, ready? Go.
Come in, said boys.
Iris opened the door. Boys.
Hi,
Said Walter. Girls. Said Iris. Iris and Walter shook hands. Hey, Grandpa, there's a kid up here named Walter, yelled Iris. How wonderful, said Grandpa, and it was. Okay, so readers, we have done a lot of work through this first read, thinking about who our characters were and how they sound. What we're going to do is we're going to go back through and we're going to read from start to finish without stopping, thinking about, say, who is doing the talking,
Who is doing the talking?
which character,
Which character?
make my voice match.
Make my voice match.
Okay, readers, we're going to try to go through one time, making our voices match the best we can. Okay? But we're not going to do a bunch of stopping because today we're going to be thinking about scooping up our voice and only pausing at the correct spots. Okay? After our commas, thinking about our punctuation. Are they asking a question? Is it exciting? You ready? Up top. Get ready to read. You guys are going to do all the reading from start to finish. Get out those yawns. Ready? Here we go.
Iris and Grandpa went for a walk. Can I
Tell you something? Iris asked. You may tell me anything, said Grandpa. I hate the country, said Iris. Why? Asked Grandpa. Because there are no children here, said Iris. The country is as lonely as Mars.
How do you even know?
Ready? Go. Iris, my girl, there must be some children somewhere, said Grandpa. Do you think so? Asked Iris. I know so. We shall have to find them, Iris. We shall be explorers. Here's our narrator. Ready? Go.
Iris and Grandpa walked down the road.
The birds were singing.
The roses were blooming. And around the bend, someone was waiting. For Iris. No.
Ready? Go. Iris and Grandpa walked around the bend. They saw a great big green tree. What a tree, said Grandpa. So green, said Iris. So beautiful, said Grandpa. I want to climb it, said Iris. Jump. Yeah, we did mess up a little bit on that, Grandpa. We could go back and read that line. What does he say? What a tree, said Grandpa. It gets a little bit tricky when it goes back and forth while you're paying close attention. Ready? Go. Down came a ladder. Here we go. Amazing! I wonder what's up there, said Grandpa. I'll go see, said Iris. Iris began to climb. How is it up there? Called Grandpa. It's very green, yelled Iris. Iris climbed higher and higher until she was almost at the top of the great big green tree. Oh, here's where she's confused and excited. What does she say? Grandpa, called Iris, there's a tree. Let's fix it up. Ready? Go. There's a house up here. Amazing, said Grandpa. Ready? Here's where our new voice comes in. Ready? We're all going to read it though. Ready? Go. Iris knocked on the door. Come in, said a voice. Iris opened the door. Hi, I'm Walter, said Walter. I'm Iris, said Iris. Iris and Walter shook hands. Hey, Grandpa, there's a kid up here named Walter, yelled Iris. How wonderful, said Grandpa, and it was. Good job. So, readers, today, as we read, we were thinking about who the characters were. We were thinking about how their voice might sound. We were also practicing scooping up all together. Readers, when you are with your partners, sometimes after you read, you might decide to go back into your book and you could even practice with your partner acting it out. And each partner can be a character and each partner could practice reading different parts. So with your partner right now, I'm going to leave this page open to page 1. And with your partner, you're going to decide one partner is going to be Iris, one partner will be Grandpa. Okay? And when you turn, you're going to practice your part. And listen, you could both practice. One partner is Iris one time, and then I want you to switch. And the next partner, becomes Iris. So you both do both parts. Ready? I'm going to leave it open and come around. I want you to practice with your partner. You're both going to do it. So partner A, be Iris first. Partner B, Grandpa, and then you switch. Okay, where's your partner? Let's turn. Okay, so who's going to be? You're going to be Iris first, and then your Grandpa. Ready? Let's look. So it says, you could both do the narrator part. Iris and Grandpa went for a walk. Now your Grandpa. You never tell me anything, said Grandpa. Iris said, good job. Boy. Are you reading? Look here. Okay, so who's Iris right now? You're Iris? Okay, let's start with Iris' part at the top where she says, can I tell you something? Ready? Go. Iris asked, your turn. You never told me, said Grandpa. Which part are you guys on? That was some great reading, being Iris. Okay, now your turn to be Iris. Which partner are you? Who's Iris right now? You're Iris right now? Okay, show me from the beginning here. What does she say? Iris said Grandpa. I hate the country. Okay, we're not playing. Have a seat. Have a seat. All right, readers, let's turn back 5.
Okay.
Let's turn back all the way down on our bottoms. 4, 3, hands in your lap, 2, and 1. So, readers, today we practiced our dialogue. Who is saying what? Making our voices match. So, readers, when you're with your partners and during workshop time, you can go back in your story and be the characters and act it out and make your voices match. So we're going to try that today. My partners will say. All right, great job.